Okay, hello friends. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, I'm going to kickstart of your project in April. So the reason why I'm making this video is to later, if you need, you can rewatch this video to recheck whether your progress needs to be improved or to still be on track. I am assigned to be the the supervisor of the project, and I'm glad to be involved. So I'd like to thank you all for making the titles far before this new year. So there are 4 points that I'd like to make in this video. First one is about the overview of the project model. What I meant by this is I know that maybe Miss Media have told you that this project is or mimics or imitates how students in college make this kind of thing. So they usually have to think and decide which title that they'll go with, and then for over probably a semester they have to form that into a lengthy writings, and then finally, actually before that, usually they have to collect the data from the real person, from the real people. If the researchers are in education major, they have to go to a school, for example. If they are in a wet lab or a chemistry lab, they have to stay in a lab, etc., etc. I think Miss Media have told you about the overview of the project and what it's like doing it. So what I remember, let me pause for a second. Pause. Okay, yep. What I remember when I did this in my undergraduate thesis was that I had to think and formulate the research question, and then formulate the explanation, or how do you call that, the literature review, and it has to be related strongly to the title. Many students change the title over time, not really changing 180 degrees, but I know, and well, the fact that they change the title over time, it means that it probably happens to you. That's my first point. Then my another point is that do not expect to have a similar scale or the difficulty just like in the college. So even though your parents or your siblings at home tell you that you have to do something exactly similar like how they do it in college, I don't think that it has to be like that. Expect a similar level to your project. So I don't think it has to be like in a college. It's good if you can do that, yeah. But I think another point that is this project is aiming for is the presentation. So if you write something good but cannot actually present it in a very clear and probably concise or short, not too long, your friends who watch your presentation will be engaged. So do not only think about your writings, but also think how you would present it. We're gonna talk about it later. And last point on this first part is that it's not that I'm hoping this happens, but when I was in college, I used to think that my supervisor is someone who will test you, who will constantly challenge you. Supervisor will challenge you. So, or another case is if you, or how do you explain it? Some cases will have a supervisor who will challenge you. Another case, supervisor will simply it's not protect you, but keep supporting you. Or I think there's only two cases. Supervisors who constantly challenge you, or supervisor who constantly supports you. That's why usually in college you will have two supervisors. Let me pause for a bit. I am recording for our grade 6 project instruction. That is to apply animated CSS background. Let's continue. Sorry for being interrupted. So, supervisor, there are two types of supervisors. But in our case, I'm really leaving this perception or how you think about me as your supervisor to you yourself. Would you see me as someone who will challenge you? I will do that. If you see me as someone who simply supports any ideas that you have, I will probably do that. So it really depends on you. Usually, and probably you have noticed it since I've arrived in SDIs, yeah. I usually take the road of constantly challenging my students to do something more, maybe even endlessly. If you don't like this way of teaching, you will have to notice me. You have to inform to me and keep asking questions if you want if you want something got answered, yeah. I don't know about other teachers or other supervisors, but that's what I experienced in the college. So if you think me as an enemy, usually or naturally you will act like it is, and eventually the supervisor will notice it. And in college, I mean in real life, I heard some stories that supervisor will be an actual enemy to your project, and even worse, some will have to cancel the project because of the not so harmonious relationship with the supervisor. But that's for another thing. So, my first point is that you will have to expect your own level, grade 6 level. And the second one is how you see a supervisor and how to make me useful to your own project, yeah? Okay. The second point is about the title. So I've received the titles. There are 3 students. I have highlighted it in aqua color. 1, 2, 3. The first one would be about AI in education, building chatbot to support learning, written by Akifa. And then the second one, how to never lose again in tic-tac-toe game, by Muhammad Gibran. And the last one, computer hardware and software, Rafadila Shirin. I notice all of you have made the title in English, so I am glad to assist you in full English from the beginning to the end. But I think in the presentation you have to prepare to make it bilingual. I don't know how, but maybe because I heard that you will have only a very short time to present. But I think for now, yeah, SDIs will only be effective in a bilingual mode, not in full English, not yet. Inshallah, in some near future. So about AI, about game, and about hardware and software. If you need me commenting on the title, I will do that, but not now, not on this point. We have 3 titles: AI, game, and hardware and software. Hardware and software. If you already have the detailed explanation of your title, that's good, because we teachers want to be this project to be yours, not ours, not the teachers. So, but if you need more ideas, of course, that's where the supervisors get in. Yeah, let's go to the next point for now. Another important thing is about the timeline. So here I have the academic calendar for my TIK lesson, yeah. We only have less than 6 months, yeah. January until April, which means it's actually less than 4 months. Why? Because in March you'll have the uprak, and then after that in April you'll have UAJ ya, ujian akhir jenjang. And I think some of you will have some extra courses out of school. Usually, I don't know about you. So here's what I think. You will have to focus on finishing it very, very early. Only in January and February. Let me repeat it. I am personally hoping you can finish it in 2 months. You will have some weekends on March, yeah, because it's gonna be Ramadan, kan? You will have even extra time actually there, but my advice is to not relying on that. Let's just focus on this January and February. We have 8 months, more than 8 weeks. I meant you'll have 8 weeks until the beginning of the March, which is your uprak, yeah, the first uprak in March. So after that, let's say you have finished almost everything in February. You will get the revision or the changes or the small changes to your project in the rest of the time, in the end of March or in the beginning of April. But that's gonna be chaotic if I could imagine. First you will have the holiday, and then Ramadan, and then uprak, and report distribution. So yeah, I will not change the advice. My advice is to focus on this January and February. So later, if you have some changes, we can still do that in March and early April. Take a note on that, yeah, that's important. January and February. Yeah, so lastly, about our mode of communication. I am told to get in contact with the students to be supervised, but there is no format that how exactly I should supervise you. The only thing that I think right now is that I will not force you to always meet me whenever we want to have a supervision session. You can do this video chat if you want, or voice chat even. But because I think the goal is to finish the project and perfecting every part of it as perfect as we could. I'm not a perfectionist, so I used to be a perfectionist actually, but now I think that for my students, I'll take another way to finish this. Let me explain it to you in a drawing. Remember, we have, let's say we are going to focus on January and February, yeah? In 2 months only. Come on. Okay, just plan. Let's say we have the beginning, where you made the title and probably the overview of what you are going to do until the end, and then you expect to finish the project. If you make something, it has finished. If you want to simply explain something, the writing has finished. If you want to show something through a video, the video is finished. If you think that the way we finish this is that we start in January and then finish everything in later in February, let's say February, maybe, or no, let's say March. If you think that you make the steps to finish the project and expect to finish everything in March, here's my offer. I'm offering you to not take this route to finish everything in March. Another way to do this is actually to make a short circuit, to make a short cycle. I've learned this in design thinking. So shorten the circuit. Let's say you write everything, or you if Akifa, you probably need to install something on your computer. Finish that everything in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. Then after that, present it to me directly. So it depends. You want to record a video like this or how. If we see something that has to be changed or something wrong with the project, later after that, right after that, we can immediately change that in 2 weeks. Yeah. So we do this over and over until we perfect the project. You get it? Do you see the difference? On the first example, in this A example, you expect to finish without any problem, without any errors in March. If you're lucky, you can do that. But my offer now is to imagine that you're gonna finish it in 2 weeks. Of course, the point of doing this is not to actually finish it all of them and really forcing ourselves to work super hard. No. It's to really imagine the whole process in a very short time. So I don't expect it to be perfect in a first cycle. The thing is, you have to experience the steps from the beginning to the end, but in a very short time. So you will experience how or which part will be so difficult. And if we realize that very early, we can later sharpen or secure what the things that you think it's needs some improvements. What do you think? I'm gonna set myself to be the B option. Of course, it's gonna be chaotic, but if you think again about the timeline, March and April is going to be chaotic too. Until June then, in reality. But yeah, that's my offer to you. So you have to really think, how can you do this B mode of work? I'm not forcing you, but that's my offer. If you want to do something different than the usual work, yeah, or task or homework. So back to the fourth point here is that I'm not forcing you to do not have any questions. This might look harsh here, but let me think about it. I'm afraid if we meet and we don't have any questions, if you don't have any questions, if I don't have any commentary to your project, yeah, what's the point of meeting? And but if you want to talk about anything, of course, I'm welcome to that. But in this context of project, I think I'm not going to force you to always meet me if you don't have any questions, if you don't have any progress. But if you want me to set a strict schedule to that, okay, let's go for it. For example, a week, once a week we meet in the lab or in your class once in a week, and you have to tell me what's the progress. But I'm afraid if I'm doing that, it's gonna force you to unnecessarily strain your mind. Whether I think in a project like this you'll have to have a conducive situation where you can really work on writings and etc. Yeah. Or video call like this, yeah, video call or voice chat. If you want to do this video call, you have the Belajar ID accounts already, or if you want to voice chat through the Belajar ID account, you can do that as well. If you are allowed by your parents to use phone, you can use WhatsApp if you want. If you want to imagine that you are if you were an actual college student, use email. So you can learn to write long and probably in correct grammar, etc. Yeah? Or simply just talk with me in lab. If you want to meet me in person, go for it. If you want to meet with 3 of you, go for it. So let's just support each other in this project, yeah? So there are these 4 things that I'd like to repeat it once more. The first one is the way on how we work on this project, the overview. It's writing, it's making a presentation, it's actually doing something, installing something, making something, and make sure it's gonna be awesome for your friends to watch. The second one is the title. I've received the title. The third one is the most important thing, is the timeline. My point B here is that we do several cycles of this development. In 2 weeks, you write in probably a short version of your research of your project, short, and then make the presentation immediately and present it to me immediately in 2 weeks. So after that, we perfect it over and over until you satisfied actually. And the last one is the mode of communication. You have to choose which mode of communication that you will need or you will be able to do. the last part of this video is the titles. You can stop here if you don't want to hear my commentary on the title. And then here. Okay, let's begin from the number 1. AI in education. So after last week during the holiday, after I received the title, all titles, I decided to try out some things on my laptop. One of them is to install an AI on my laptop. Let me show you. And it's quite easy for Linux, yeah, to install something. To install something in command line. What I meant by command line is like almost when you're doing a Python, yeah, Python project, you have to open something in command line like this, black and white. So what I've installed here is Llama run tiny LLM. Okay, let's see. Let's can open. Wait a second. Tiny LLM. Sorry, it's not tiny LLM, but tiny llama. Llama is an AI engine, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see the explanation. It's an app, but not exactly an AI yet. What is Llama? If you have prepared other thing than Llama, that's good. But Llama is an open source one that can run something similar like ChatGPT. But after we run Llama on our computer, we have to run a model. So there is a lot of models, and maybe one can satisfy your question, maybe not. Different models, different answers. So if I run a tiny llama model and I want to ask, can you describe what an apple fruit is? It will answer in a very lengthy way, and I don't think this satisfies your title, because Akiva wants to make some AI or develop the AI to be useful for studying. So I don't think 6th grade needs an explanation about apples, by the way. If you can hear, my laptop right now, my laptop's fan, kan every computer has fans, yeah. Now it's blowing really hard, so it works really hard to give the answer like this on your on your screen, yeah. So that's can kind of demonstrate that thing. This thing demonstrates what's in real life the AI like. So the processor running so fast to produce that long answer. Apples are classified into different types depending, and so on and so on and so forth. I don't know if this still works if I disconnect with the internet. Anyway, I haven't tried it. So the thing that you really need to answer on your main question or your title is how to train. How to train your AI. It's not only giving you lengthy answer and then you think you would satisfy. No, no, no. I will probably show you sometime to what specific AI model that will help in specific context. If it's in math, the AI should be something something. If it's in language learning, if it's a consultation, I don't know if there's a model for consultation to later in the future replacing doctors. I don't know about that, but maybe there are some other models, AI models. But the thing is that I'm hoping that to answer your title here, you will need to train an AI, and this is going to be taking some time. And I haven't. I'm currently learning about it, so of course installing an AI and then finally using it, it's short and it's probably too easy. And the thing is that how to make that AI to be helpful for your learning. Let's see another question actually. Can you help me with math? I'm gonna use this in grade 5 actually to explain about the AI. Yep, it's taking long. So yeah, because my laptop is kentang, but it's useful. Yep, look, it's super slow. Installing an AI in your own computer really depends on the capacity of your computer. Look, some people say that AI is always hallucinating. They will explain to you something that's not needed actually. I was hoping for the AI to reply me with, okay, so what's the question? Something like that. But it turns out it explains some examples of math. Is this useful for you? I don't think this satisfies your title, because it's not really helpful at this point. Okay, what about 2 plus 2? What is the result? Yeah, it's of course impossible for a grade 6 to ask 2 plus 2 to an AI. Yeah, something like this. So in the end, let's solve this thing. How to make yeah, a relatively good assistant, AI assistant, and then the AI is instructed to answer. What is this? Look, do you need this explanation for your answer? Kind of strange to me. So you can take different result. So how do you rate this AI? 5 stars or 1 stars? Okay. So again, about the title, the focus is how to train the AI. And there's a lot of AI in education already now. So your point is to build. So what I imagine is that you'll have to install and choose the model and finally train. Another challenge is to choose the language actually. Will your friends use your AI in English or Bahasa Indonesia? Because AI in Bahasa Indonesia is also existed. So you have to choose from the beginning. Find the AI model of it that fits your needs. Okay, that's for number 1. Number 2, how to never lose again in tic-tac-toe. I am strongly thinking that number 2 is related to math and probability. Yeah? Probability theory, maybe. Can tic-tac-toe has 9 cells, if I'm not mistaken. Jib XOXO, something like that, kan? And the intriguing part of playing this game is that sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So I think Gibran puts the never lose again to make us, the audience, to get interested. That's good. So if let's say you have found the trick, let's say that you have found the trick to do that, I am challenging you to explain it in technical way. Can you do that? In technical way. What I meant by technical way is maybe that you will have to explain it in several scenarios. So if I put the X in A1, just A1. How to name these cells? Do you name it A1, A2, something like that? And then the next steps should be something, it has to be following some way of thinking. And next steps should be also following your theory. So can you do that? So it's not only simply explaining this, but also explaining why the next step should be this. And what I think is that you have to explain it in an angle that is close to the probability. If I'm not mistaken, probability chapter will be learned at senior high school, maybe in grade 10. In my days actually, it is learned in grade 12. But I've heard now it's in grade 10 actually, probability, in a simpler manner maybe. Yeah, so maybe you will gonna explain it in English, maybe in Bahasa Indonesia, it's up to you, but don't stop when you already know the trick, and continue with some more technical explanation on that. It's gonna be interesting, and it will make your friends to want to challenge their own other friends to beat this game. Yeah, that's what I think about this title. It's math, basically. So it's not really some technology or something, but the root of technology is math. The third title, computer and software. You will learn about the detailed chapter about hardware and software in junior high school. The actual curriculum of junior high school will learn or will dig deeper on hardware and software. And not only that, they will explain to you the names, but also the functions. How to phrase it? Think how to make your audience interested also in hardware and software. I don't think you are going to explain various hardware and softwares one by one in a very short time of presentation, because it's not because it's not a lesson. So in case, how to say it, I think my offer is that you will have to build, because I know Shirin has built something, that involves hardware and software, something that people can touch, and it's doable in 1 month or 2 months. So I don't think you're gonna go to the PC service center. No. Make something that you have experienced making, like this. And then let's find out how to program it. Just a simple program, but it's gonna demonstrate to your friends that there's a connection between the hardware and software, and your small project can be projected to the bigger device. So let's say you make something using Arduino, and then in the end of your presentation you're gonna explain that in real life the computers we bought has something similar with what I made with the Arduino, something like that. So not only explaining something to your friends, but also showing what you have made. That's what I think on this number 3, because if you're stuck on the explanation of names and functions, I think that's gonna bore your bore your audience. So I'm offering you to make something in Arduino. Yeah. So these are three commentaries from me about computer hardware and software, and then the game theory or the probability theory, and finally the AI. The point of making you working in 2 weeks is to find the thing that you have to improve right away. Yeah, so write some explanations and then draw something if you need. You don't have to buy already. If you need to buy, let's just talk first and design everything. And finally, if you still need to buy something, maybe Miss Media will give all students some money for that. I don't know about that. But yeah, all these three titles have the potential of showing something in front of the classroom for the kids to watch. Yeah, I'd like to congratulate you for finally making this title. If you have any questions, let me know. That's it for now. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.